Okay, we paused it. I'm assuming that no one's going to watch this other than historians. But if I were in Springfield and you got these boxes, and I would explain to you, they're not real well organized. We want to just put them in boxes and get to you. We are going to try to make a box go along with the video so whoever unpacks it can watch it. I had thought that I would sit at my computer and write a memo trying to remember what was in the box, or having somebody on staff make a packing list like we would do if we shot if we mailed books to people, but there would be purchases from a computer and so forth that would take way too long. Darren is the one who suggested this. So, for example, here's something. This is anniversary weekend. Something from John Arnott at the Toronto Blessing. I thought, that might be interesting to you. Something on CBN, Holy War in Brazil. That's not really us, but it might have some historical. Benny Hinn, Inside Edition. Okay, this is from March of '93. It's kind of a hit job, but we saved it. At one time, I was going to transfer all this to DVDs, but we don't have the time, and actually it's pretty expensive. Here's something that has never been out of the package. It's a DVD on Billy Graham. I have no idea, but maybe some graduate student is doing something on Billy Graham. Here's something about the Philippines and miracles. I don't know where we collected all these things, but a revival in China. Here's Primetime Lies. It's about Robert Tilton. I remember this one. It was also a hit job. This says Paul Kane. This is before he had his public scandal from '94. We did have him speak a couple of times back in the day. Here's a video, this is commercially done, of Catherine Coleman in Las Vegas in '75. I was told that there were only a couple of these in existence. In other words, her crusades were not done on video except the one, I think, in Jerusalem and the one in Las Vegas. You probably have it. This says Toronto Blessing. We did a story, when we had our TV series, we did some stuff on the Toronto Blessing. This is a music video. He said, you don't want that. Christians in China, '94. Like I said, throw it out if it's not yours. And something else on China, and kind of more of the same. All right. Over here, we did the Modern English version, which you have. We did a special one for the 40th anniversary. It's just a special cover that we gave to I think we did 200. And if you want a sample of everything we did, this would be in it. I don't have many of these Spanish charismas, but I came across this one. A young Benny Hinn was on it. I don't see a date. We did not publish it very long. It had a very, very small advertising market. Here's something about Reinhard Bonnke on the 700 Club. The Toronto Blessing. Okay, here was an apostolic meeting, tape 3 of 4. A bunch, when we hosted at different times, probably a dozen leaders meetings, we would have recorded or even videotaped some of them. It would be an example of leaders discussing things, and it may have some interest in history. I don't know that I need. Here's our 15th anniversary special. We have a whole bunch. We're going to try to send you only one of these. Here's something on Daystar. Apparently I was on I'm actually on Daystar next week. I may watch this. I think I have a VHS player somewhere. Something, a 2-hour celebration of dreams. I don't know how I got. If in doubt, I'm sending it. Well, where do I toss these things? I'm trying to do this fast. The Charisma Women's Conference. We did these for 10 years. They were very popular. Here's Suzanne Hinn, here's Cindy Jacobs, here's Paula White back in the day, Dr. Fuchsia Pickett, who's in heaven, Betty Friedson. To us, this is important. It's part of what we did. We did it for a period. We felt that season was over and we didn't do it anymore. Here's one that I framed. The Assemblies of God at 75 years old and 89. I know Darren wanted this one. He probably put it right next to his heart. Peter Gammons. Peter Gammons is an evangelist. He's still living. He just went on a tour. He told me about it. It sounded pretty impressive. He gave me, partly to get acquainted, a sample of everything he did. This is one of them, Christians, Healing Power. Anyway, Darren said he wanted them, so it's in here. Here is the very first issue of Ministries Today. And, if there's some loose issues, I am sending them. Up there's bound copies, and I'm going to figure out what to go ahead and send to you guys. We will keep some things because we need them, but things that are not being used very often, or if we have duplicate copies, I'm sending it. Here's a tape. We love Fuchsia Pickett. This would have been her teaching, but you know what? She was a United Methodist minister who came into the baptism of the Holy Spirit, had quite an effective ministry. She's one of the generals of her era. Okay. I did an interview with Robert Walker. I came across it along with his wife. We were doing a show. It was rather long. I taped it for posterity. We never really used it, but I think I did make a program, number 33, on Charisma Now. I consider that I've continued Robert Walker's publishing legacy. All up there, I've got all the Christian Life magazines. I also have Choice magazine, which you never heard of, and Sunday magazine. I think I'm going to go ahead and transfer all of those to you guys now rather than waiting till later. Trying to think what else is in here. Oh, here's an oldie but goodie. Doug Weed. Doug Weed recently went to be with the Lord. He loved to gig the Assemblies of God. Now, this is before he got into politics. He kind of quit doing that once he got in politics. But he did a magazine called Restoration. I thought this was lost forever, but I came across a couple copies, and he paid me. This is a little known fact. He paid me to, here's a picture of Doug back in the day with Jim Baker. And he paid me as a freelancer to do several issues. Now, this says David Lewis. David Lewis Doug had several editors. I think I did 2 or 3 issues. I did it under some kind of pseudonym. Maybe I use that pseudonym. But here's little ideas. Here's something about Calvary Assembly. Here's something about Foursquare. CBN sets up a new university with a young Pat Robertson. Doug, you had no idea you'd get all these goodies but they're not really our legacy. There's notes. This says Hagee Book on Israel. You know what? I have another use for that. I may keep it. But anyway, this kind of gives you an idea of what's in all this stuff. I'm saying that I'm not having to show you everything. Okay, this is A Night to Honor Israel, January 10th of 08. Now, I'm trying to think. John Hagee had some Nights to Honor Israel. And he raised several $1 million to give to Israel. I attended. I was deeply touched. I realized that I had made no contact with the Jewish community locally. I asked him if he would come to Orlando and help us start one. We had the Hilton Hotel, which seated 800. It was standing room only. People were turned away, literally. And it was the seed. It happened would have been in November, and it was a seed for Christian United for Israel. And I strategized with John. I told him he had tried this before and failed, but he saw in what we did a spark of something. He was able to get one rabbi to cooperate with him. I had 5. I mean, maybe I need to do a video on that. We did videotape it. It's like a really lousy video. I guess I wanted it for posterity. Anyway, the following February, he had a meeting in San Antonio and a big one in Washington the following summer. And I gave him the idea to call him a summit. I said, if you call it a summit, people think it's important and it comes. So he did a lot of Nights to Honor Israel. Maybe this is John Hagee's. I'm almost sure it wasn't ours. Here's some more stuff from Peter Gammons. It doesn't look like it's organized. Here's something that we did. We did women's conferences. We did several men's conferences. And I had the bright idea of doing a DVD series. We paid a lot of money. We didn't really have a strategy. We had a leader's manual, everything. It was kind of a big flop. By the time we got it out, nobody was interested in it. But, it was Ed Cole, Doug Weiss. If you have a sample of everything we produced, it's this. But we found this was not our forte, so we didn't do it again. But I kind of wanted to explain. Here's Dr. Doug Weiss, Shepherding Our Sons Sexually. It was done in November of 01. And it's good material. I don't think it's marketed anywhere. Doug has kind of a counseling organization. He may sell it, but there's samples of different things that we did. There's a lot of that. This new thing, a lot of it's going to be samples of what we did. Also, like we have a lot of our books. Here's one by Fred Price. Prayers Answered, or Answered Prayer Guaranteed. Let's see, what year was this? Copyright 206. So I was told that the books we gave you only went up to 209, so you may have this. Here's David the Great by Mark Rutland. We're going to go through, and any of our books, I'm just going to give to you, even though they may be duplicates. But we don't have time to carefully index things. If you guys don't need them, I've been told that you have material that are books, or I guess they are material, things that you can barter. So, I'm paying to have them shipped there. All you got to do is throw them away. At one time, I thought, I have got to get this organized, and it would take me months. It would take me months to organize it as well, and even analyze what you want and don't want. The fact is, I don't know what you want and don't want. I don't live in your world. I don't deal with these scholars. On a personal basis, I'd like to think that what we have done over the years has some value that lasts beyond, whatever value there was at the time. We did not do things just to do them. We did them because we felt that God was leading us to do it. There was a kind of a demand in the market. There was some kind of creative spark, that we were doing something we thought was good. And, a lot of these things we'll never know till eternity. I do have the personal opinion that things that are saved historically is often because they're important. And the fact that you're saving what we're doing in some ways lets me tell myself that what we did was important. It's really what's important in the lives of, the people we touched, and of course over the years, millions, and the staff we had, and the ministries, and the authors, and the individuals we worked with. But this is, I am a little bit of a pack rat, not totally, but we are really cutting down on what we have. At some point in the future, we'll send more, especially the stuff that we do that's new. But this gives you an idea. Let's see, did I go through this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I went over all three of these boxes. My able assistant, Donna, who's videotaping this, will figure out how to put it in the boxes. Maybe you could list all the boxes A or something, and then they just know that there will be some boxes that come with no videotape. I may do this later, but today I just decided to do it. It takes the pressure off of me of writing an email, and at some point we need to just put this stuff in boxes and put 1445 Boonville on it and get it out of here. And like I said, next you'll get books, you'll get bound copies. We're putting together a skid. I'm hoping to send it in a week or so. There will be some material from Jamie Buckingham. Let me mention these two things. In 2012, there was a guy named Trayvon Martin, a young black kid that was killed, and it was a national thing. It happened 2.5 miles from where I'm standing. We were very, very involved, and we created a little documentary. We did it on an absolute shoestring. We sort of thought we had something that was important to save. It was really how the Christian community helped avert rioting and stuff in Sanford. It was an honor that God was able to use us. It's not a very good documentary because I said I was the talent, and I just don't do that well on documentaries. I just don't. But I wanted to point this out. We also have a whole bunch of letters. Some of them are very, very interesting. I think we're going to put them in a big envelope and just put them in one of these boxes. And then this one on Jamie Buckingham is called The Gift of Writing. I actually had a little seminar. I'm trying to think who was there. Benny Hinn actually came. I think Judson Cornwall, even though he'd written a bunch of books. It was a very interesting group. We rented a conference room at a hotel across town, and Jamie, we got him to record. It's all audio only. It was 1991. It was in February of 91. It turned out that he died 1 year, almost to the day later. He was battling cancer. We had no idea it'd be a day later. We marketed these, so to speak, through Christian Writers Institute, which was a part of Christian Life Missions. We sold them. Now we kind of give them away. I think we put it online. But you're getting these are special to me. Anyone studying writing or studying Jamie Buckingham's life, of course, would be very interested in this. I could probably go into the detail about a lot of this stuff. I'll wait and do that on the second go round. I hope this is helpful. And like I said, if in doubt, throw it out. They're a great guy to work with, and I appreciate the friendship that's developed over the years.